Assalamu alaikum, dear students of class 9th. Today is our third chemistry lecture and we are starting from chapter number 3. The name of the chapter is Periodic Table and Periodicity of Properties, and it is mentioned on your book page 63 and onwards. So before going to start the chapter, first you should know that what is periodic table or how you can define periodic table. The arrangement of elements into groups and periods on the basis of their increasing atomic number in a table is called as periodic table. This is the definition of periodic table. So the words or the terms which are used in the definition, you must know the meaning of these or the definition of these terms or words. So it is the arrangement of elements. So what is element? Elements can be defined as the pure substances in which all the atoms are chemically identical, having the same atomic number. You must know what is atomic number: the number of protons in the nucleus of an atom, or the number of electrons in the shells of atom, called as atomic number. It is represented by the symbol Z. So these two terms or words you studied in chapter number 1 in detail with the help of examples. Now another two words which are used in the definition, these are the groups and periods. So what are the groups? The vertical columns in the periodic table from top to bottom, it is called as groups, while the horizontal rows in the periodic table from left to right, they are called as periods. So these two terms we discuss in detail when we started the periodic table. Clear? Before going to start the periodic table in detail, first we should know little bit about the history of the periodic table. In other words, we can say that how the periodic table was developed. So in 1800th century, only the 34 elements were known. By the year 1870, this number increased to double. In 1974, the number of elements was 105. At present, 118 elements were known. Out of 118 elements, 92 are found naturally on Earth, while the rest were prepared artificially. So with each passing day and the discovery of new elements, the number of elements, they are increased. So it was difficult for chemists to study each and every element individually. For that they need a place where they collect all the elements. So Al-Razi was the first who decided to classify the elements on the basis of their different characteristics. So he was the first who divided the elements into metals and non-metals. You studied the metals and non-metals in your chapter number 1. As you know that both type of elements are entirely different from each other. This classification was failed because there were some elements who possess the characteristic of metals as well as the non-metals and were called as metalloids. So this classification didn't explain the nature of metalloids. After the Al-Razi, the next scientist, who was called as Dobriner, he classified the elements into group of 3, which were called as the triads. So in 1817, J.W. Dobriner, a German chemist, classified chemically similar elements in the group of 3 called as triads on the basis of their atomic masses. In triads, the atomic weight of the middle element was the arithmetic mean of the atomic weights of the other two elements. So here I have mentioned the two examples. How he made these triads or the group of 3 elements? So he selected 2 elements. For example, he selected lithium and potassium. The atomic mass of lithium is 7, while that of potassium is 39. He sum up the atomic masses of lithium and potassium. So by the addition of 39 and 7, we got 46. So this 46 should be divided with 2. So here we got the mean, that is 23. So the 23, it is the atomic mass of sodium. So this third element, it is placed between these two elements. So in this way he made different triads. Another example, here you can see that if we select calcium, the atomic mass of calcium is 40, while that of barium is 137. If we sum up the atomic masses of calcium and barium, here we got 177. 177 should be divided with 2 to get the mean. So here we got the answer, that is 88.5. So 88.5, it was the atomic mass of strontium. So that's why the strontium, it is placed between these two elements. So in this way, Dobriner made the group of 3 elements called as triates. But this classification was also failed because large number of elements cannot be classified in this way. After the Dobriner, there was a scientist whose name was Newland, and in 1864, J. Newland, an English chemist, he classified the elements in the group of 8 on the basis of increasing atomic masses. So he found that every 8th element has the properties similar to the first one of the series. So he called these group as octaves. Octa representing for 8 elements. For example, according to his classification, that the every 8th element has the similar characteristic with the first one. So if we start counting from here, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. So according to him, the characteristic of sodium resembles to the lithium. If we start counting from beryllium, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. So according to him, the characteristic of beryllium and magnesium, they are similar to each other. Suppose if we start counting from boron, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So according to him, in this octave, the characteristic of boron and aluminium are the same. So and so on. So according to this classification, the Newland, he arranged the elements in the group of 8, which was familiar as Newland octave. So he could not classify all the elements in the same manner, so the law of octave was also failed. After the Newland, there was another scientist whose name was Mendeleev and Ludermeyer, and they gave their classification of elements. So at the same time, both the scientists, Ludermeyer in Germany and Dmitry Mendeleev in Russia, they presented their classification in the year 1869 about the same time independently, and they developed very similar arrangement of elements on the basis of their increasing atomic masses. According to these two scientists, atomic mass is the fundamental characteristic of each element. So they decided the elements to classify on the basis of increasing atomic masses. So Ludermeyer, he plotted the atomic volume of elements against their atomic masses and found that similar elements occupied the similar position in the graph. While the Mendeleev arranged the elements in the form of a table, he arranged 65 elements into groups and periods. Before, we already discussed the definition of groups and periods. The vertical columns in the periodic table from top to bottom, they are called as groups, while the horizontal rows in the periodic table from left to right, they are called as the periods. So Mendeleev arranged the elements in the form of groups and periods on the basis of increasing atomic masses. So he also left the vacant spaces for the undiscovered element. So in other words, we can say that the basic concept of or the shape of the periodic table was given by the Mendeleev. So related to its classification, there is important law which we call as the Mendeleev periodic law, or it is also called as the old periodic law. So this law states that the physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic masses. It means that they were believed that the atomic mass is a fundamental characteristic of every element. With the discovery of atomic structure, it became clear that element varied regularly with the atomic number, not with the atomic mass. So after some disadvantages of Mendeleev periodic table, another classification which was given by another scientist whose name was Moseley, and he gave the concept of new periodic table, which is called as the modern periodic table. So this table was put forward by an English chemist, Henry Jeffrey Moseley, which was based on the atomic number. So in 1930, Moseley concluded from his experiment that atomic number, it is the fundamental property of an element. As atomic mass, it cannot accommodate the isotopes of the elements in the periodic table. So it was believed that the fundamental characteristic of every element is atomic number, because the atomic number of each element, it is different from one another. So in relation to this classification, there is another law which was presented by Moseley and which is familiar as modern periodic law. So this law states that the physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic number. So it was believed that atomic number, it is the fundamental characteristic of all the elements. Clear? Now on the basis of increasing atomic number, the periodic table, it is divided into eight vertical columns called as groups and 7 horizontal rows known as periods. So as earlier I have already explained the definition of groups and periods. So up till now there is no objection or disadvantage can be observed in the modern periodic table, which was presented by Moseley, and who believe that the fundamental characteristic of every element, that is the atomic number. So this is all about the development of periodic table, in which we discuss some of the scientists and their views related to the formation of periodic table. Clear to everyone? So after that, the history of the periodic table or the development of periodic table, then we will start the chapter from modern periodic table and directly from the periods in our next lecture. Read the development of chemistry on these two pages, that is page number 64 and 65. Clear? So inshallah we will start the periods in our next lecture. Thank you.